pizza in there.
Well, I hope not. That was hours ago.
No, I really think there's pizza.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, we're live. So you can talk about the pizza stuck in your teeth.
I'm glad.
Well, you know.
That we're talking about the pizza stuck in my teeth.
I don't see
That pizza
any.
was not great. I don't know what Hayden was talking about.
He's 16. He doesn't know anything.
He just eats anything.
Oh, you want to talk to people?
Hello, everyone. And welcome to the Craft Cast. My name is Koren Wiskman, and my husband, Tim.
Howdy.
This is just a poorly run YouTube
shamble
of a show in my basement. Welcome. We've been watching comedians in cars with getting coffee with Jerry Seinfeld. Man, that show is really funny.
Yeah.
I really laugh a lot with that. You should watch that, everyone. If you want a good Netflix, probably everyone has already seen it.
I mean,
we're always the last ones.
Yeah, we're
we
usually
don't watch
pretty
TV.
late to the party, so.
Oh well.
Anyway, we have lots of folks here.
Hello, everyone. Where is everyone from? If you could leave it in the live chat, that would be great. Where is everyone watching from tonight?
Well, we could start by seeing how well do you know? Like, yeah.
How well do I know what?
Prairie Stork. Where's Prairie Stork from?
Nope.
You don't know?
Hey, Kim Miller. She's from Maryland.
Well, I know.
I probably don't know where. I don't try to remember where everyone's from.
Oh, I'm terrible with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I try to remember people's names, but usually it's just their Instagram handles and YouTube handles and stuff.
Yeah, well.
So that's why I always call Tigger Mama, because that's what it is, and Jessica Mayday, because that's what I learned her as. So I still say Price Club instead of Costco.
Wow. That's just because you're refusing to adapt to a changing world.
Yeah. I have become my grandmother.
Well,
I rest my eyes in front of Jeopardy.
Hey, look at all the Montana people.
Montana? Really?
Yeah, two folks from Prairie Stork was originally from Montana, and Debbie's from Montana. I lived there for a year and a half. That was enough for me.
Aunt Max is here. Whoop, whoop. All right, so we have a few things, some news elements to go over tonight. And have we given enough time for everyone to show up?
Well, I think so. Yeah, you gave them like 2.5 minutes. I mean.
My eyes are watering. Every time I put makeup on, my face does not like makeup. Anyway, I start to cry. First, we have another 30-day marker coloring challenge coming up in March. And so if you want more information, I have left a link to the Daily Marker, Kathy Rack's coloring challenge, or to her blog for more information, because everyone else is way better at explaining things than me. I just give the information. So in the description box, there should be a link to Kathy Rack's thedailymarker.com, and she does a coloring challenge for 30 days. You don't have to do every 30, like I don't do every day. Some people do every day, that's the challenge. But I can't commit to that. And, I try to do as much as I can. But it's a very fun challenge, and it gets you to be creative. So if that's something that's your cup of tea, check it out. Number 2, I'm going to be part of the Heffy Doodle Inspiration Blog Hop. That's going to be on March 12th. So check that out. It's going to start, I think, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know that everyone's from all over the place, so I can't really give good times. But the day is March 12th. So that's something to check out. She's going to give away a $50 gift certificate, or £50. I don't know what the conversion rate is. Their money is worth more than ours, or what?
I don't know. I haven't followed it. They just had Brexit. I'm not sure.
Anyway, it's $50 to spend in the Heffy Doodle shop. So definitely check out that inspiration hop. Number 3, which we're going to talk a lot about today, because we're going to be talking about Tiffany, the creator behind a World of Heart live stream event. And where she basically, last year, what we did was we went for 24 hours, which is hard. 24 hours straight of creation. Every hour, another creator was doing an hour live stream. This year, she's got 2 dates, but it's going to be 2 days, like 8-hour days, I think. I'm going to be on March 21st at, what did we decide? 4 o'clock. Because
Eastern.
she's
It should be 4
Vegas
o'clock
time.
Eastern.
Is there time in Vegas? I don't know. I think time stands still in Vegas.
Wow, it depends on if you're winning or losing.
Yes, definitely depends on whether
It's
you're winning
a
or
long
losing.
trip in Vegas when you crap out on day one.
Oh yeah.
You know, the rest of
We
your
didn't.
trip.
Did we even?
I don't think we
I think
did.
we may have pulled the machines a
I don't
little
think we
bit,
did.
but that was it. We're so lame.
We were more about trying to get a good meal.
Yeah,
and
Captain
looking
Crunch
forward to
chicken
getting-
fingers.
Yeah, and looking forward to the drive out in the desert.
I am not gonna lie that we decided to go to Vegas first before Creativation last year just to get Captain Crunch chicken fingers.
That's not a
So
lie.
they're highly recommended. But we will be talking more about that event shortly. Also, on March 28th is Lucky to Know You. So if you're in the Baltimore, Washington metropolitan area and
Or
you
need a
want to
reason
come,
to be.
or you have a reason to be,
Or you need a reason to be.
or you want to come visit Annapolis, come to Lucky to Know You. It's my event. It's a crop/class style event. I want you to bring stuff to play with because we all kind of share. It's a small enough group that we all kind of play and see what everyone's brought, what the latest and greatest thing was. And I also plan to teach a couple of activities. So lots of information about that can be found on the Facebook event page. So I think there's a link in the description box. Probably not, because I don't recall putting one there. Did we do that?
If you didn't give it to me, sweetheart, it didn't make it in there.
So,
We'll put it in there at some point. It'll be there tonight.
but tickets can be found in my Etsy shop, and I'm happy to answer any and all questions about that. It's super fun. I do have some regulars that come to all the events, and I'm so thankful for you guys. I can't wait to see you. And is that all the news and info?
I believe it is. That was all of the things that you
That's my list.
had given.
So then we have an Instagram inspiration person this month. Yeah, it's kind of like a monthly thing.
Oh no, it's the wrong one.
This one. It's not our broadcast without some mistakes.
Well, I fixed it.
And it's twitching. Instagram likes to glitch.
I think it's yeah.
But Alberto Gava, I hope that I know that I sound like someone from Baltimore. So I'm going to torture people's names, and I apologize in advance, but Alberto Gava is probably one of the most amazing Copic colorists that I've seen in a long time, and he just makes these magical drawings or colorings. I don't know if he draws specifically, but he colors stamped images, and he's amazing. So check him out. The name, I can't pronounce it because it's probably not English. Wouldn't you think, Tim? Because I can't figure out what
I
his
wouldn't assume that you could pronounce it even if it were.
Yeah, because I really don't know English very well. So I've left it in the description box below for people to interpret on their own. Has anyone heard of him before? Because he's pretty amazing.
Yeah, this is really the first time I'm actually scrolling through it. Like
Yeah.
it's really
He's
quite
an inspiration,
impressive.
and I think that everyone should follow him. So there.
Yeah, that's
And I don't know why Instagram likes to glitch.
yeah. Sorry
It
about
does
the
not like
blinking.
to be shared with the people. So we are going to have a chat with Tiffany Solorio. I want to go to her website right now. Can we do that before we start talking to her? So
What
I
do you
can
want me to
brag
do?
about her a little bit before we unmute her.
What do you
Tiffany
want me to do?
is a mixed media
Oh.
artist, and she's amazing. I think, I wish she would just send me something so I could hang it on the wall like art. I mean, it's amazing. I am in awe of her because it's something that is hard for me to do. If I tried to do it, I'd just make a mess. I'm a way more clean. # clean and boring, Kevin. Card maker. So when people can do these mixed media collages, and it's just I stare at it with my mouth open because I can't do that. And it doesn't matter how many videos I watch of her. I just watch her do it and say, wow, I wish I could do that. But we're going to talk with her, and she's going to tell us all about her this year's A World of Heart event. So I'm going to come over there, hun.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, come on over.
I'll bring my notes.
We'll wake her up here.
We did tell her 8:15, but
I said 10 or 15 minutes. I'm pretty much spot on. Are you there? Tiffany? There she is.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, good. I love everything that you create, by the way. Before you start talking, I just wanted to just tell you how awesome you are. And don't really send me stuff, but if you do, I'll put it on the wall.
Well, what do you want?
I have no idea. It's all beautiful. I am.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, look at that.
Look, talk to her.
I'm sorry.
My goodness.
I'm looking at the other screen. If you ever see us kind of looking like this, because the comments and other stuff is like on this other screen. So we're not paying attention. Tell us about what you have going on right now, Tiffany, about yourself. Tell the people.
Well, I'm pretty boring, so I don't know.
Aren't we all? We're all just
That's a
moms.
wrap, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that was the easiest one we've done. Everybody have a good night.
I don't know. I think everybody that is creative, or I think people in general, just go in like a lull, and I think that's where I'm at in my creativeness right now, is just trying to. I'm inspired every day, but to sit down and create something mixed media style right now, I think is beginning to be hard for me. I'm more leaning towards more cards and more cards and cards, but
I think that happens to everyone. I think I don't know if it's burnout or we're just bored with it, because creative people tend to want to do more things and like, ooh, look at that. That's pretty.
It's the artist's version of writer's block.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I would imagine. You know, when you got to get the words out, but you just can't marshal them in the right order and get them out onto the page at the right time or in the right place, you know.
And sometimes like I'll be given, something to work with, and it's not that I'm uninspired by it, but what I make with it, I just feel is kind of and that happens too. Like I don't love everything that I make, and I think that's okay. I think that pushes us to do better or to try something new or push ourselves further. But are you not creating mixed media art right now at all?
No, I am, because I'm on, I don't know if you've heard of Finnabear, Prima Marketing. She has her own line of like mixed media products. So I'm on her creative team, which is only one project per month, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that you're making
hard.
cards.
Yeah.
Are you sending cards?
Am I sending cards?
Because making cards and sending the cards are two different things.
Yes.
I'm great at making all the cards.
Yep.
And then they just sit
My
here.
mom comes and takes them all, so they're given out sometimes.
It's literally, no kidding. Like our friends, my business partner, they all come over here. Whenever they've got something, they'll have a Mother's Day or a mom's birthday or dad's birthday or something. They come up. Hey, is Corey home? And, I'll be out on the job. So yeah, go over to the house. Knock on the door, and they'll come over here and they will rummage through her drawers of finished cards and finished projects and pick what they want, and they throw money on the table and they walk out the door. It's so funny to watch it happen.
And I ask them not to. Like, I don't want them to pay, but then I come down here and there's just money left here. I mean, I love my friends, but they don't have to pay me. Like, I'm happy to give them. I mean, they're not being sent anywhere. So that's some advice. Right now, try to get in a good rhythm of sending out the cards.
Yeah. I sent you a card. I've sent a couple cards. I think I sent one to Jess, A Card Day's Work. I send a few every now and then, but
I keep
It's
them
hard.
all. I keep
Yeah.
them all. I have a box of all the cards that anyone has ever sent to me. I display a few of them, but really I treat them like little treasures, and I keep them all in a box so that
Yeah.
they don't get messed up.
So what's the World of Heart thing? I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
You see, he doesn't
I don't.
know
I'm not.
everything.
I'm not told things.
Tell us about A World of Heart.
So last year, I think I learned that March is National Craft or International Craft Month. I'm like, what can I do to like get card makers, mixed media artists, everybody kind of in the mix of doing something. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, you're just
I
fine.
thought it was frozen. Sorry. um, and I thought of the 24-hour live stream, which was hard.
Did you try to stay
And
up for that whole thing?
I did stay up, and I think I ended up going live like 3 times, which was
To
crazy
fill holes?
because of yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So this year I'm like, no, because I realize that even though we're still kind of like the same community, it's still separate, like mixed media versus like card making a lot of times. So I did card making on one day and then more mixed media on the next day. So
Well, scrapbooking's
Yeah.
like that too. Like I want to do
Yeah.
more scrapbook pages, but there is like this weird kind of
Invisible
dividing
line.
line. Like, well, she's a scrapbooker. Well, she's a
yeah.
mixed media, or she's a card maker, and I don't know
Yeah.
if any of us really truly feel that way.
I don't.
Yeah, like I can make whatever I want.
Yeah.
Don't put me in a box.
Yeah.
That's one surefire way to get me to do something, is to tell me that I can't do it.
Yeah. You notice I'm smart enough to not have a comment.
So this year we have the 21st is card makers, and then the what's the
And
other
scrapbookers.
and scrapbookers, and then the what's the second date?
28.
The 28th. Oh, that's the same day as my event.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's fun. Last year it was a lot of work. I was like pulling out my hair for months before, and this year I'm just like, whatever happens, and it's just gonna go. I'm gonna go with the flow this year.
Okay.
Sorry, baby.
What?
I almost elbowed you in the face.
Wouldn't that be funny? Bloody nose live on YouTube. So, what other crafts do you like to do besides card making and mixed media? What else is there?
I like to do acrylic paint pours, although it's very messy, and I think that's it. I can't sew, I can't crochet, anything like that.
You can do anything. It's just you have to devote the time to it to learn it, and I've
Yeah.
learned that.
Yeah.
I bought an apron pattern months ago because I saw.
Years.
No, was it last year?
Years.
It literally has dust on it right next to the sewing machine.
I'm fairly
Because-
confident
Yeah.
that it was in the craft room when it was above us.
No, I don't think it was that long. We could look back because we film and photograph everything, but
Sure.
it's literally collects dust, and it's not because I can't do it. It's because I don't have the time to learn how to do that. My mom, she does things and she makes it look so easy. She's a sewer. She's a quilter. I shouldn't say that because she too is a crafty person. She can do anything, but she really enjoys, or had enjoyed in her life, quilting, and she's made beautiful things. So I feel like I should just send it to her and be like, "Hey, Mom, look at this neat pattern I found."
Oh, and this fabric, that would just be perfect.
Look at this fabric. It would be perfect for this, don't you think? And see if she sends it back to me. Like, she has the time for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want to be able to have time to do all the things, but when you share online, you're busy, you make something, and then the rest of the time is sharing it.
Yes.
It takes up so much time to link the things and to make the videos and to take the pictures, and it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I think
It is.
that's when you
yeah.
get into like a lull, or you just need, like what some people are saying, a brain break.
It was funny the
Yeah.
amount of different euphemisms everybody's got. Your brain taking a break, dead zone after a holiday season, losing the mojo. It's the February freeze. That was a good one. Yeah, I like that one. Creative funk. I mean, it's something that I think anybody who does this kind of stuff endures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some comments about your new YouTube group, Everything YouTube. Tell us about that.
Oh. Well, I get questions probably not daily, but pretty often, and I'm sure you do too, about like how to upload videos, how to title videos, like all the things of YouTube. So I'm like, I'm just gonna make a group. Not that I don't like messaging people, but I'm like, I'm sure there's a lot more people that could benefit from everybody bouncing ideas off of each other.
Oh, yeah.
And just, because some people, 10 years ago, I was doing videos and I didn't know anything about keywords and description. And, just the past couple years, I've really tried to do better, which sometimes it's hard because there's so much stuff and it's changing so much.
Yes.
So I think that a group that everybody like, oh, this person knows a little bit about this and this person knows a little bit about that, and then everybody can kind of work together and help each other out.
Yeah, and that's really helpful too, because like even in things like in my world, right? I don't do the marketing, right? I don't do the website stuff. I barely do the Facebook and Instagram because I'm bad at it. I have a company that we pay that handles this stuff for us, but I will see things that happen. Last week I had 6 new customers call in one morning, and that was something that was really atypical. Something was happening with our website that was behind the scenes. One of my marketing people did something, and it generated a tremendous amount of momentum just in that morning. And we can see those things. Like, I'm in a nice position because when it's working, I have a really simple metric. The phone is ringing. I'm getting more chat requests. I'm getting more emails. I'm getting more proposal requests and things like that. You guys, unfortunately, you have to almost wait until you can diagnose the metrics and all of the background data that comes in on the back end. So there's no instant gratification for you whatsoever.
Right.
So it's such a hard lesson to learn. Like, what are the right keywords? What are the right titling? What's the right alt text? What's the right, hashtags? And I feel for y'all. And like I said, I've never been happier to pay somebody to do something, because while I know what it is, I have no knowledge of any of the specifics of how it works. None.
Yeah.
That's an awesome cup.
Is that the Cheshire Cat?
Do it again.
Yep. That's awesome.
And it says, what does it say? Almost everyone is mad here.
Yes. That's our slogan for this house.
Yeah, without a doubt.
We're all mad here. But we spend 3 days, like uploading and keywording and now alt texting, because I've learned what that is.
Yeah.
Do we have a link to the everything?
Yes, it's in the description box.
Oh,
I've left a link to the Facebook group, Everything YouTube.
Some folks in the chat were asking.
It should be in the description box. But we spend 3 days, uploading this stuff and making it perfect, or what we can do. And then it takes a couple days. Well, did all of that work?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you got to figure out what worked and what didn't work. And sometimes it's so exhausting. I never want this to feel more like a job, because then your creativity goes right out the window when it starts to feel like, ugh,
Yes.
That's when the creativity just stops, and you're not making anything of any quality.
Yeah.
But
that's how I.
Go ahead.
No, that's how I felt like about 3 years ago. I was on a few design teams, and then they were requiring so much, and I was just like over it. Just was like, ugh. And then as soon as I stopped being on any design teams or whatever, I just got this wave of inspiration. I was like, oh, now I want to create, because I'm not having to do it,
Uh-huh. What?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, you know,
He's clicking things.
Did I lose you guys?
not even a little bit. You know, I have like 40 different panels open right now, and all she's got to do is maintain the conversation with you, right? She's not supposed to be paying any attention whatsoever to what I'm doing. And I'm trying to, like, you know, go through and make sure the signal is going through right and the stream is still healthy, and she's like, oh, look, something shiny.
Mm-hmm. But, I'm sorry. Yeah, you did lose me because he was clicking stuff.
You look.
Are there questions?
She's right
in
here. There she is.
In the comments. Well, that's what happened. I was staring at her, and then you clicked off of her, and I was like, oh. This.
Oh my goodness.
We try so hard, and this is.
No, this is
what
fun. I was like, when you asked me, I'm like, really, me? Because I love watching. I missed JD's. I think it was last month.
Yeah.
I think it was like the weekend of Creativation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I was watching this morning and I'm like, when is she coming out with that class that she was talking about?
I think she just put out a new video too, on that channel.
Okay.
About titling. I think.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, I need to watch it still, but I think that's going to be fantastic, and we should invite her to your group, to your Everything YouTube group. I know she's very busy because she works full time and everything, so we should. Yeah. I'll send her a message. But are there questions from everyone in the live chat? I forgot to
really
ask.
So far. I mean, this is a good point to remind everybody that if you have something that you'd like to ask Tiffany specifically, now is a really good time. Throw it in the chat.
Make it all caps. I love when people do that because then I can see it.
I didn't realize you like getting yelled at.
Well, it's not.
Oh, I thought that's what
it was. I
don't
take it that way. Mm-mm.
Oh, I don't know things. See,
Just
there's lots of people that that definitely took the time to say hello to you.
And they're all looking forward to the World
really
of Heart. Nice. I'm glad they're looking forward to the new event. I can't believe you stayed up for 24 hours.
Yeah. I think I'm still recovering.
How was Creativation for you? What was it like your first time there, right?
Yeah, well, yes. I went to the smaller one because they have a smaller, I don't know if they still do, but they used to have a smaller show in the summertime, and it happened to be in Vegas the year I think that we moved here, and I was able to go for a few hours, but it was only a few hours, so. But
see, I remember it was in
fun, overwhelming.
Oh yeah, that was when I first went and I came back, and he was like, "Well, how was it?" Overwhelming. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I missed a lot because there was so much.
Drinking from a fire hose is my favorite analogy for. I mean, we were out there together last year, and
I had to bring backup.
I was kind of like blown away at how many different things are happening at one time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just and how much information you're trying to glean from people that all these folks paid a lot of money to come out to be a part of this, and the vendors are heavily invested in this, and everybody is really trying to make those 3 days everything that they can get out of them. And it's kind of this really big, neat chorus of things that are independent but homogenized all at the same time. So trying to pull any one bit of information down, it's like, and to get a lot of information about one thing, it's almost impossible because you get so much information about so much. And that was just my objective, or my perspective, and didn't really have anything to get out of it other than some stuff to try to help the engineering side of these lives. And that was really my purpose in going down there, was to learn more about SEO. That's actually what I went down for. And I took a couple of SEO classes and came back, and I was like, I would have loved way more about this topic and way less about this, you know, but you can't really craft it.
Did you take any classes?
Yeah. No, I went, so we were traveling Thursday because my mother-in-law came from San Diego to stay with the kids. And so we traveled Thursday. I went Friday because I was helping Dress My Craft. I don't know if you know that company.
Yeah, they have the shrink pink.
Yes. And so I was helping her. So I set up Friday, and then Saturday I helped and with her booth about half day. Sunday I went for a couple hours to help her, and then Monday I kind of left a little bit earlier. But yeah, no, I didn't take any. I didn't know I was able to. I was just. She was like, "Oh, I got you a badge," and I'm like, "Okay, great."
Yeah, are you a member of AFCI?
No, which I kind of wish I think if I end up going again, it's a big if because it's very expensive, the hotel and everything. Although it's not that bad because some people obviously have to pay for flights and stuff. But
by the way,
still,
the drive from Vegas to Phoenix is one of my favorite drives in the country.
That was really fun.
I love rocks and holes, right? I'm the guy who loves rocks and holes. So I do. Goodness. So that drive from Lake Mead to Phoenix, I was just.
We had a blast, and it was so relaxing.
Great.
That was great.
I think maybe because it looks exactly what in the because I live outside of Las Vegas, so it's very dirt and mesas. I'm sure you know what a mesa is, and just hiking dirt trails and all that kind of stuff. So it looks the same, and I'm like, this is the most boring drive.
Okay. So us driving south down 95, I think Tiggs calls it the green tunnel because it's just green trees. You're just driving down a green tunnel of trees until you hit Florida, and then it becomes palm trees. And that's it. That's all you're staring at. South of the border is kind of like, hey, look, something's painted, and then there's more trees. So that's how we feel. But now when we went out to Vegas, it was like, hey, look at all this. This is new.
Yeah.
Well, and we can drive. And so it was like a 4.5 hour drive for us. We were not doing the speed limit. But I can spend 4.5 hours driving from here around the Capitol Beltway around DC and back home. Right? That's how bad traffic is here. That's how they're driving here is misery. Being out there where there's a little bit of freedom, there's not a whole lot of traffic, and it's just free. It's just a nice, easy, pretty much do whatever you want on the highway kind of stretch, and I really enjoy that. And I like the serenity of having nobody around.
You actually lose cell reception for a good portion of that drive, and we were like, wow. We're totally disconnected. That doesn't happen to us here because we live in the mecca of all the things, right outside of DC. So it's like there's so many people that it'll never happen to us. So that was nice. But people are asking, how did you start in crafting?
Let's see. So my son's 13. So 12 years ago, I was in a mommy group, and a lady was a Stampin' Up demonstrator, of course. And she, I think it was a Mother's Day or Father's Day, scrapbooking layout or something. And after that, I was hooked. I was but back then we were in San Diego. I couldn't afford much. I was so excited that I could spend $10 at Big Lots or something, I'm like, yes. And I had a little tiny desk, and it just kind of grew from there.
I have a similar story. Stampin' Up got me.
Yeah.
I started making scrapbook pages and cards and anything that I could with paper. And I didn't have any money either. I still don't.
I don't think I actually got any Stampin' Up stuff because I couldn't afford it. And then it was whatever dollar stamps they had at Michael's or Big Lots or whatever is what I got, and then that's how I started. And then I think I immediately started blogging, and then I think it was a couple years later that I started doing videos, and then
I bought a stamp set, and it was because my sister-in-law was the demonstrator. And then I still have it. So I made everything that I made had these trucks on it because that's what I had. I didn't have anything else. So now, I'm very fortunate to be on some design teams, and I get kind of new stuff all the time. But then everything was trucks. That's the stamps that I
Yeah.
had. So, what is your favorite medium to use?
Um,
Those are always tough. Like, that's a tough question.
it is because I think, well, I don't know. I think it would have to be sprays. Like I have dilution sprays, I have distress sprays, I have like all the sprays,
Uh-huh.
and I'm waiting for Dina Wakley sprays.
Yeah.
Can't
I
wait to get hers.
I love pigment inks. Like I love ink blending with pigment inks. And it's been
Yeah.
really hard lately because my shoulder hurts a lot when I ink blend. So I haven't really been able to do that so much. So I miss it. So I'm like drooling over everyone else's ink blended cards. I'm like, "Oh, look how wonderful they look." And if I try to do it, I mean I can, but I can't do it as much as I want. So,
Yeah.
So do you have any new geeky figures for your shelf? And I again am sitting here lost. I'm sure there's a story,
do you have geeky figures in
My
your craft
shelf
room?
up here
right?
has um like Star Wars, Marvel, Harry Potter, like everything
Yeah.
of that nature.
I have
I just
Deadpool.
actually got, I don't know if you guys can see them. Wait, where am I? Oh yeah, let me see. My
Oh, neat.
bags. I have Loungefly
Uh-huh.
backpacks. I think I have like 8 or 9 now, but I got those hung up there
I see
today.
them. I have a Loungefly Mickey Mouse purse that I just got for from my last trip, and it's
Oh
basically
yeah.
just Mickey, and then his like it has like a thing that hangs off of it that's a glove. It's pretty cool. I really love it, and I'll
Oh, that's
probably
cute.
only ever use it when I go there. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I
Yeah, I
don't.
wear mine like all the time. Like every day it's like, which one should I use today?
I have another one that I use like all the time. That's Mickey, but it's not
Yeah.
Loungefly. It's Vera Bradley, and I got that one when we went together in August.
Okay.
But Loungefly, like they do all of the cool like popular or pop culture type book bags. That's I'm explaining it
Yeah.
to you.
Was
He doesn't know
was
what
I supposed to be paying
Loungefly is.
attention? I'm
No.
sorry. I wasn't.
I have like Deadpool, and I have some Mickey stuff, and I have Funny Steve, my new droid that I just got, and then I have Olaf, my snowman. But
Oh.
yeah. So, I mean, I think in our craft room, we try to make it, we surround ourselves with things that we love and what brings us joy, and those things do. So that's why they're there.
Yeah. Yep.
Andy Zach said that he watched your cleanup room and your dance party, your
Oh
inspiration
yeah.
to clean up the craft room. Have you been keeping it clean?
Today I cleaned it, although I mean you can't see it all, but it
I just
was
moved
a
all the stuff
disaster
out of
because
the view.
yeah, I'm doing like a de-stash of mostly like papers and stuff. So yeah, it's all like shoved under my desk right
Mhm.
here.
I
And then I
said,
shoved everything in my closet.
Tim, put the camera on us again, and then I cleaned up everything just back here.
Oh yeah.
it's, it's all where you
Like, what
can't
can
see it.
Yeah.
It doesn't help when you tell them the secret. Okay.
There are no
you take
secrets,
away
honey.
you take away the mystery of man. How does that? No.
Well, one of our discussion question for this I guess the craft cast is from a fellow procrastinator. I don't want to reveal that yet because we have a little graphic, but I want to ask you
Uh-huh.
how do you balance crafting and children, and do you work outside of the home? So
No.
you just do the crafting, well, and the
Mhm.
momming and the
Yeah.
wifing and all the things. What are some tips that you might have for everyone to balance all of those things?
Well, when my kids were little, so when I started crafting, my son was like 1 or 2, and it was like rare when I was able to craft. But then as he got older, I started staying up later because then I was like, oh, well, I could just take a nap with him the next day. So I would stay up to like 2 or 3 if I felt like I wanted to craft. But now that they're older, I don't do anything else. So they're like in school. My son's 13, my daughter's almost 9. So I just do it. I don't know. What was the question again?
It's hard. It's hard because, yeah, that's exactly what, when I sat down to answer this, that's kind of like what I thought too. So are there any other questions from the live chat?
Some folks want to know about some of your favorites. Do you have favorite tools that you enjoy using? Ink pads? I don't think they're necessarily looking for a recommendation. More so, what exactly is it that you like, and maybe why do you like it? You know, if you've got an ink pad that works great with, I don't know.
I do have, can I say that I have a favorites video playlist?
Absolutely.
You can say anything
okay.
here, I think, except for the F word.
Yeah. I mean, and even that, I'm just going to be like,
And I can beep that out. I'll beep that out later.
Yeah, no, so I have a favorites playlist of like favorite dyes, stencils, and that sort of thing, inks. I'm pretty simple. I kind of keep to the same stuff. So, yeah. I'm a creature of habit. I like to use the same things all the time.
well, I do want you to say that you do have a YouTube channel that you should, everyone, if you don't follow Tiffany, you should, because she's an amazing artist. And I mean, and plus you make fun videos like how inspiring you to clean up your craft room. I can't get it that when it gets to a certain point, I have to clean it up. And I really do clean up after each project most of the time, because so much of it is using product. I don't want to use the same products on the next card. Does that make sense? So I end up cleaning up everything and then putting that away and then getting stuff back out for the next card or the next project. So I really, and I don't think that I'm in no way OCD. I just work better when things are in order. I'm probably a minority in that. And Dexter, I have Dexter here with me, which I'll talk about in a minute. And that's a whole nother. Do you let your kids in the craft room with you?
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, my son, he used to craft with me when he was little, but now he, could care less. Although I was cooking the other day and he came out with a circle die and some like my big Tim Holtz scissors, and he said, "Hey Mama, are you using these?" And he wanted to cut the die, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" But Abby, she has her own bin of stuff that she uses, and she always leaves my glue uncapped and stuff. Yeah.
That's why
stuff isn't cheap.
So I am the furthest thing from an OCD person. But
you're a hoarder, dear.
But there are no, I'm not quite that bad. But there are two things that will absolutely make me insane. And Dexter is guilty of both of them every single chance he gets. An uncapped marker will make me nuts.
I can see one right now.
I know it will make me legitimately insane. And glue that's not closed.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about those two particular things. And actually, that's not true. I do know what it is. And it goes all the way back to art class in elementary school. We were always using dried out markers.
Yeah.
And paste that you had the stick. You remember the stick?
Yeah.
And the kid in the class before you never put the top on right, so your glue didn't glue anything down.
Man, you really had a hard time.
That was my childhood, man.
Did you eat glue?
No. You?
No, and I don't understand people who did.
Yeah.
Tiffany, put the glue on your hands and then peel it off?
No.
Who was doing it? Dexter and Olivia, I think, were both doing that like last weekend.
Yeah, they were putting glue all over their hands just so they could peel it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
No. I just figured I'd ask because he must get it from someone. He's crazy. Like, and I refuse to clean up after him every time. I won't do it. And if he doesn't clean up, then he's not allowed down here. So if he wants to stay down here, then he has to clean up. And
you're bad at policing that rule.
I understand. But that's the rule.
Yeah. Marker PTSD. That's the quote of the night.
I mean, there are, and he doesn't have nice things, okay, but he does have his own supplies.
He did have some nice things. He had an entire set of Zig markers.
That's my set of Zig markers.
They were.
And he loved them so much. Zig, a clean color real brush markers. He loves them. Mm-hmm. He loves to watercolor with them. He loves them, okay? And to me, they're okay, but he loves them. So I just figured, okay, that's worth it to me. If you want to play with them, go ahead. But now I'm finding Zig markers all over my house, and they're not exactly cheap.
Yeah.
So, but he has the Crayola stuff, that you can get from the dollar store, mostly.
Yeah.
Is what he has. And they can make great art with those things. They don't need the things that we use.
Yeah.
We're just...
I did have one... Oh, no, go ahead.
Nope, go.
I did have something to say about the, balancing your time with crafting and, being a mom or, whatever. So I think it's important if you are creative to, even if it's, once a month, just carve out time to be creative, especially if you're a mom and you have little ones at home, because I think when I was able to do that, it really helped me just kind of relax and,
Right, it's like a therapy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then, that was all. I think it's important, but at the same time, if you aren't feeling creative or, going back to what we were saying about, creative funk or whatever people were calling it,
mm-hmm.
I think that it's important to, if you're not feeling it, don't force yourself, because I have been guilty of that, and it just makes it worse. I think just it's okay to step away and close the door, and just when you want, just to try and go back in little by little. And
what do you do when you have a deadline and you need to make something and you're not feeling it?
Oof. I kind of had that happen, actually. So in a week, I have a hop with the Finnabear's creative team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is with mixed media. It's just, I don't know. I just kind of sat down and I went layer by layer. So with mixed media, it's building up the layer. So I was okay, I have to alter this thing. So I'm going to start with just the basic gesso, and then after probably about 20 minutes or so, I was okay, I could do this. And then, so I kind of forced myself, but I had to do it. So
do you like what came out of it?
Yes.
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. And it's not, I never hate it. I don't share things that I hate, but sometimes I feel I could have maybe, and it's always after the fact, when I'm looking at it online and I'm I could have done this or I could have done that. And I think that's just what makes us grow and be a better artist in the future. So, but I want to thank you for coming and chatting with us and being on camera.
I know. I'm
you're beautiful. You have nothing to hide.
I think that's the other thing that this channel, that this craft cast, this podcast, whatever this is. What is this?
It's not a podcast.
It's not a podcast. I don't know things.
Because when I sat down to do it, I was man, I really want a chatty kind of crafty show, but it has to be seen. It can't just be heard,
it's gotta have
because
a visual component.
I'm a visual person. I have to see things.
But as what I was saying was, I think one of the aims to this is to try to break through some barriers. There's a lot of people that we've talked to that don't do FaceTime interviews. They don't do videos with their face on there. And there's a lot of people out there that want to know more about
the artist.
Yeah. They want to know what your shelf up there, right? Your geek shelf. Okay, that's fantastic, and that's such a part of you. It's such a piece of you that it's also just this much of it. you know? So
Mm-hmm.
when they get to see a little bit of your shelf up there and they get to see your hands, there's so much more about, you know, the artist or the you know, the content creator that they just don't know. And that's one of the things I'm finding that's the most fun about this, because everybody, they have this little tinge of nervousness, this little uncomfortable, and partly it's because of us, because our technology is like, you know,
Who knows what's going to happen?
is it
even gonna work?
We never really know if this is going to go the way that it's supposed to. So I'm sure that we are contributing to your to the nervousness of the guests.
No.
But it's one of those things too that, you know, the more that people do it, the more you get to spend time face to face, and you realize it now that this just feels like it's just us. You know, it really does. It just feels like it's just us.
There's a few people in the
and there's a
live
couple of people out watching on the side, and it's great that we can have them
And they're all
involved.
wonderful.
But to make it all just feel so comfortable, to where people not only come away from this with a hey, that was fun, but a desire to do it again. You know what I mean? Or maybe carry it over into something that they are doing or you're doing. On your next video or in your next series, you know, maybe it inspires people to say, hey, there's no reason that I can't do that, you know? So I think there's at least a little bit of liberation that comes out of it. I like that part of it.
Yeah.
Because
I think people like to see the face-to-face, because most of the time it's just hands.
Right.
And
when
so I think
I was going to say, when
Koren
she first
really does it differently.
When she first started, and, you know, she said that because she had made a couple of videos years before the modern era of Koren's channel, right? And it was very much in the same vein. It was a single camera angle, hands down, with a simplistic voiceover over the top of it. It was almost tutorial based, and it was methodical, and it was a little dry. And
tutorial based.
Yeah, in the very, very beginning, and she asked me, she said, you know, what do you think? And I was like, I don't like it. And it wasn't that I wasn't trying to, you know, squash whatever it was that she was working towards. I was being honest with her, and that's not the kind of content that I would want to watch. So, and there's so much of the, you know, we joke all the time now about make what you want to see, interact how you want to interact, and really make the content that's important to you. So she spends 3 or 4 days on a video, and she makes it the way that she wants to make it, and that's so much more fulfilling for her than trying to crank out you know, a one a day, you know, or something like that. It just, you know, it that's unfulfilling for her. So I think she's really found the multiple camera angles and the massive amount of extra work that comes with that is just more rewarding for her.
When you watch, because you like to watch people making things on lathes.
I do. I love watching woodworkers
He wants a wood
turning
shop,
lathes.
and I want him to have it. But when you're watching that, do you want to know who's making it, or do you just want to see the finished product?
I get to the point to where initially, like, I want to get through the process. I want to see how he takes a stump or a raw piece of wood, and then I want to see how he crafts it and how he molds it, and I want to see all the steps. And then I get to the point to where I'll watch a few of that person's videos, and then I'll have a tendency to just kind of like, all right, well, I've seen him turn this type of thing 5 times already. I don't need to watch him turn that again. So then I'll watch maybe the type of material he starts with, and then I'll fast forward to the last minute and a half of the video, and I'll take a look at the end of it. And I think that's what happens when it's just so simplistic of a video, that you get to the point to, after the first few times people see it, they're familiar with your style, and then they're going to say, all right, well, you know, I got the gist of the beginning, and I've seen people work a die cutting machine before.
Right. How many times do you really need to see me put foam tape on this image and then put it on the card?
Right.
I mean, how many times do you really need to see that?
So, but I think that's part of the evolution, right? That's part of how you know, you start to develop something where you like to watch it. So when you started to do things, and then when you started to add the vlog footage in there, it was like just capping it all off, because
People
that
did
made
not
it
like
feel. Yeah, there was a lot of flack that came with that, but it really, again, it goes back to the essence of the matter, which is making what you want to watch,
Right.
making the content that's important to you so that you are happy in creating it. And I think that helps. It helps keep your creativity up, and it helps prevent the February freeze, the post-holiday brain block, and all of the other analogies for it. And I think that it's a really helpful thing. I'm
You
done.
really participated a lot in this conversation.
I'm sorry, I
I'm
could
very
stop.
proud of you.
Well, you started talking about lathe. You started talking about lathe, and it got me all excited. I love those things, man.
All right, I'm going to go back over on my side of the room. And thank you, Tiffany,
Yes,
for
thank you.
hanging out with us and for showing your face on camera. And even though it's uncomfortable, thank you. And I'm glad you did it. Are you glad you did it?
Yes.
Good.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you for having me. I should have just shown my hands. Just as a joke.
I would have been totally okay with that. If somebody says, can I just show my hands? All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you should watch back through the live chat because everyone loves you.
There's lots of love in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody.
All right, let me go back over.
All right, be gone. Tiffany, thanks again. We'll be talking to you soon.
Yes, thank you.
Yep, see ya.
I think some people have texted me. Okay, so our discussion topic, Kaylin. Dexter won't listen to me.
Oh my God. We can't get 1 hour. Not 1 hour from these people.
So our discussion topic for today was from fellow procrastinator. If you don't know what a procrastinator is, it's my Facebook group, Procrastination. Basically, I asked them what were some great discussion topics, and they gave me a lot of them. So Courtney Gershat says, probably not reading this word for word. Oh, I think a good topic is how to balance being able to craft with children, a job, and even health. So if you have something to chime in on this topic, please leave it in the live chat so that we can read what your opinions are. But I wanted to answer it, and I wanted to give Tim an opportunity to answer it since we gave Tiffany an opportunity. But honestly, what my answer to this is teamwork.
Oh, come on. You stole my thunder. Yeah, I got some really great advice once upon a time, too, from the Wonder Pets. Come on now.
I sing that song on a regular basis. My two older children, okay, like she's watching Dexter right now. This is teamwork. Tim's helping me pull this off. This is teamwork. Without my family, I would be nothing. Okay? Once upon a time, I didn't have this situation. I was a single mom and I just had a little cart, a little tote bag of supplies, and I got to craft on my day off. So, or when there was a Valentine's issue and we needed to be solved. But that's really the answer to this question for me is I get help from my family. And those of you that know that my health isn't 100%, that I learned that I cannot do it all. Okay? So when something has got to give, crafting is the first thing that goes. So it's not my husband or my kids, it's the crafting. So I have to tell myself that sometimes it just can't be done. And that's okay. This is supposed to be something fun that you enjoy doing and brings you therapy or a sense of calm or enjoyment in some way. And if it's not doing that for whatever reason, that has to be a problem,
And there was a comment earlier that rung true with me particularly, and I can't find it right now, but it was something to the effect of, that's why I created a career in the health profession, because I didn't want my crafting to become an obligation.
Right.
I wanted to make sure that it stayed fun and as a hobby.
Right. My job, I'm a dental assistant. I have a license that I have to keep to be able to perform that job, and I still do it. I've got like a couple days in April that I have to actually go to work. But I'm lucky enough to be able to be home because my husband is such a great provider and I assist him in things that he needs.
Absolutely.
So I'm there for him when he needs me. So without him, I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff.
Yeah, and on any given day, you could look at either one of us and think that we were a single parent. You know what I mean? And like if you were looking in from the outside, because there's some days where she and I just don't really see each other. You know, we don't get a chance. You know,
And I post about it on Instagram.
She's
sometimes.
she's against the deadline, and I'm running kids and a business, and you know, then there's other days where, you know, my job being very weather dependent, it's feast or famine. You know, when we have bad weather, having an opportunity to go run the things that I need to, and pawning the kids off on you. So, looking in. Perspective is everything, you know, and knowing that we've got each other is a huge benefit. I don't really know how people do it when they don't have
Right. There's some tips and tricks going on in the live chat, like planning ahead. Okay. So I love to be able to work ahead of time. So I will try. Sometimes this doesn't work out, but I started 2020 a week ahead of time so that I could be able to work on things and do them to the quality that I like, and have them basically scheduled before that time. Now I'm, unfortunately, as the year has progressed into February, I'm falling far. I'm sure that it's like closing in on me. But working ahead of schedule is definitely a great tip. Okay, so when you know something is coming up on March 12th, have it done, have it ready to go, and have it turned in. Or you know that there's a blog hop, or you know that you want to play the MFT color or coloring challenge, or the whatever challenge they're putting forth this month, or whatever challenge you want to play in. You know that's coming, so plan for it. And as soon as they release the sketch or the colors, start working on it and have it done. And that way, you know what's important to you. Okay, you have a level of priority in your life. So crafting, wherever that is, that's how you get the job done. If you make it a priority in your life, it's going to get done, right?
Yes. We could always talk about the 7 Ps.
I don't know what the 7 Ps are.
We probably shouldn't.
Did you learn that in school?
No.
I'm just reading through the comments. Do you see any other tips and tricks?
Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Oh, is that the 7 Ps?
That is the 7 Ps.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Yeah. People that have health issues, you just have to realize that sometimes it's just not going to get done, you know, and you have to say no to certain things, or, you know, devote more time to it. I don't watch TV.
That's true.
I don't watch TV. So
comedians in cars getting coffee.
If it's important to you to watch the latest episode of Fill in the Blank, I'm crafting while you're watching TV. So that's one thing. I also, in the wintertime, I tend to do a lot more crafting in the wintertime than I do in the summer, because when it's nice out, we want to be on the boat or go on to the beach or visit my mom, and crafting doesn't get done as much. So it's really what you think the level of priority is.
Yeah, and Cece makes a good point. Yeah, planning's a priority, but life also happens. Absolutely. And life has to, it's going to happen one way or the other. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, we get thrown curveballs all day, every day. You know, some of us are constantly batting the ball over the fence, or over the net, just trying to keep it in play.
Right.
And, sometimes you just have to take a step back, put things into perspective, realize what's actually important, what really has to be done. And, the one thing that I've tried to do is to if somebody can do it 85% as good as I can, I should let them do it. Mm-hmm. Right? So if even though I don't like the way Kaylin loads the dishwasher, she can do it 85% as good as I can, so I make her do it.
Right.
That's just...
Every child in our house has a chore that they must do to take the weight off of us, and that is absolutely okay.
Yep. Delegation.
There are do not disturb signs on the door. I lock my door. Now, granted, I have I set up this room knowing full well that my children like to be down here with me. So I have Disney Plus on the TV. I have gaming systems down here. I have an entire table devoted to Dexter and his crafts. So I know that they're gonna, I want them to be down here with me. I want them to be crafty. I want them to learn from me that this is a great hobby, or to get out your frustrations this way, or whatever they're learning from it. So I do have a spot in my craft room that's dedicated to my kids, or knowing that they're going to come down here to be around me because I have the Atari. But no, and with that, I have to take everything that comes with that. Dexter is a big tornado of mess. So there's rules. If you want to come down here to craft, you have to clean up. If you don't clean up, then you don't come down here. And then the door gets locked. Do not disturb. We've thought about putting a sign up, especially during lives, but we don't have the sign. We could make a sign.
We could make a sign, like an on-air sign or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it would work.
And Desert Nana says that perfection is overrated, and I couldn't agree more, especially in this arena. I mean, one of the greatest things that I see is just the fact that when you all are making your crafts, and it doesn't matter who it is, if you really want to be a really nitpicky person, you can. But these are not made in a factory. They're not made by a robot or a laser printer or some type of automated device that's trained to do the exact same thing 600,000 times in its lifetime. These are all one-of-a-kind pieces, and they should be treated as such. So imperfections are part of the process.
A lot of women are saying that they give up sleep. I do not. I can't do that with my health. I cannot give up the things that are important to my body. So I will work out, I will sleep when I need to, and I will eat the things that I need to, because that's something that takes priority in my life. So in order for me to feel good or be able to have the energy to craft at all, I need to do those things. So they've taken a level of priority in my life. So I don't give up sleep. Now there are things that I will, I'll stay up late or something, but you'll never see me crafting at 1 or 2 in the morning, ever.
No.
I used to stay up that late.
Yeah,
when
there
there
was a whole
was
different reason.
Bars involved. I want to thank everyone for coming and hanging out with us for the Craftcast. The Craftcast is going to be on March 22nd. We're going to have Mary Ann from the Rabbit Hole Designs, and we're going to be talking with her. Do we have any other questions from the Peanut Gallery?
I don't think so. I think it looks like everybody is... Well, there's a lot of folks that are debating right now the importance of sleep.
Everybody's different, honestly. I need my sleep. I get bags under my eyes with a full 8 hours. God only knows what I would look like if I didn't sleep enough. And sometimes it's not good sleep, so I try to get sleep. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out with us, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, I hope everybody had a fantastic time. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Tiffany, for hanging out with us today. And everybody else who took the time to sit with us tonight. Thank you very much. We'll see you when?
The 22nd.
The 22nd. So that's like a week before.
Yeah, before my event. Check out Lucky to Know You.
Yeah, Lucky to Know You. That'll be fun times.
Bye, guys.